You're watching Virginia This Morning. This segment is sponsored by the Female Pelvic Medicine Institute of Virginia.
Ladies, we have the body we have, and that's why it's important to take charge of our personal health to ensure we're living our best life. Joining us this morning is Mary Ann Snavely, Director of Rehabilitation at the Female Pelvic Medicine Institute of Virginia. She's here to share how women can gain control of their health. We welcome you. It's nice to meet you.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here this morning.
I know. Well, you've got an exciting event ahead.
Yes.
You are putting together, have presented the Women's Health Expo. It's not normal. Your body is talking to you. And it's interesting. Even just hearing that title, you think, oh, wait a second, my body's talking to me. Well, what is it saying?
Correct.
And why am I not listening
Exactly.
to it?
Well, most women don't listen because they're either in denial or they're embarrassed by maybe symptoms they're having. So what we're trying to do is offer an event. We have different doctors that will be speaking on different topics. So we've got breast health, we've got cardiac and stroke health, we've got pelvic floor health, pelvic floor dysfunction, and then some myths and maybe miscommunication that comes across in the health industry to help women to start paying a little bit more attention that their body's trying to tell them something that they think is common, and they might hear their friends saying, oh, I do that too, that happens to me also, and not realize it's actually their body giving them a symptom that something is going on and they need to get help.
And you raise a great point. Oftentimes it's that embarrassment or that denial, a good dash of, I don't have time to deal with that right now, so I'll get to it. And when you talk with girlfriends and you hear, oh, I'm kind of going through that, sometimes it motivates you to start exploring what the body's saying.
Correct. So one of the first subjects we're going to be speaking about is breast health, and that happened to me. I've had both my breasts removed. It'd be 5 years ago on March 8th.
Wow.
And had there not been early detection and things I knew probably more than the average person to be looking for at the time, I probably would not have had the help in the early detection that I did. So I didn't have to do chemo and radiation, and I've always kind of felt guilty about that because so many women do go through that. My mother went through it. And losing your hair when you have to go through something that's so traumatic. So I do kind of live with some of how did I get to be so fortunate. So what you try to do is give back. And that, you know what, if you know a little bit more and you get seen a little bit earlier, prevention is the key to everything right now.
And thank you for sharing that story. And
Thank
I'm
you.
so glad you're here with us today, and that you had an experience where you can
Yes.
come and be able to advocate and share the importance of,
Correct.
of detection.
It's so big. I have 3 daughters of my own, and they have some early symptoms. One of the talks that we're going to have at this same event is going to deal with what's called pelvic floor dysfunction, another embarrassing condition that women live with. This is one that deals more with more of the urine leakage. You see the commercials on TV all the time where they're showing that it's become normal or it's accepted as you age that you should be wearing either diapers or living in assisted living due to the embarrassing issues. So one of the talks that we're going to have with Dr. Rett will do is going to be, these are the things you don't have to accept because there's so many behavioral changes that are easy and common that you can actually make a difference in your life. Most people don't even think of that the bladder is a muscle, and because the bladder is controlled by a muscle, therefore that if they change their bathroom habits, fluid habits, you know, if they're drinking really, really fast, they don't realize that they're filling up their bladder quickly and that the bladder muscle could exhaust, so they may be leaking just because they're drinking too much water way too fast.
There are so many ways to change that.
Yes.
And it's every time I have this conversation with women, it seems like the result is the fix is so simple that
Yes.
they say, why didn't I do that before?
Yes.
And I hear this conversation coming up more and more. So it's great that that'll be one of the conversations at the expo.
Exactly. Another one that we're doing will be about cardiac. Number 1 and number 2 in women's health, as you probably have heard a million times here, is the stroke and heart attack. And I really wanted to make sure that there was a message out there to women that if they are listening to their body. I know my mother, for instance, was having little fainting spells years and years ago, and I kept saying, Mom, you really need to get your heart checked. You really need to get your heart checked. But the problem was, she would do what most people do. They're going to wait. You know what, I'm going to wait and see if it happens again. I don't know. I don't really think I need to go to the doctor. And you're right. Taking the time to say, I'm important. They usually are putting other family members ahead of themselves. So it's a message that we need to get out there that know what some of these early symptoms are, complaints that you begin to just go, but it happens all the time. And it happens to my friend. That doesn't mean that your friend isn't having an early issue.
Everybody is unique, and so you need to listen to those messages. You mentioned the statistics around heart health and stroke health and awareness. The signs are different. So it's important to learn and be able to experience an expo like this so that you can learn how those signs exhibit themselves within a woman.
Exactly, because compared to what a man is going to feel is very different than what women do experience. I'm not as educated on that level because I'm more involved in pelvic health and I know more about the breast health. So I'm really excited about Dr. Dietz, who's going to be coming on and talking about that. I don't think it gets spoken of enough because most people, once they realize they've got an issue going on, I always say they've waited till it's broken and now they're trying to get it fixed instead of doing the early changes to their behaviors or changes to their dietary habits to make a difference for them.
Marianne, thank you so much for being with us. We talked all through. There's amazing information, and oh yeah, there's all sorts of vendors, skincare, jewelry, clothing, nutrition, wellness, everything under the sun, and it's all free.
It's all free, and if anybody's interested in lunch, they can call and make a reservation for lunch.
I don't miss a lunch, that's for sure. The Female Pelvic Medicine Institute of Virginia hosts the Women's Expo this Saturday, February 25th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Johnston Willis Hospital. The event is free and open to everyone. Lunch will be provided, but you need to pre-register. You can sign up by emailing Julia Hester at HCAHealthcare.com or call 389-7262. Nikki D, a very important event, an amazing opportunity to talk with the experts and so much going on.
Absolutely. So it's always great to have your questions answered correctly by the experts. So bring on those questions, inform yourself and all of your friends. And y'all, I want to inform you what's headed your way, and that's a lot.